Hey Shark fans, it's Melinda Marsalis. Welcome to Heard It on the Shark. I'll be your show host, and Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area is your show sponsor. Heard It on the Shark is a weekly interview show that airs every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on the Shark 102.3 FM radio station based in Ripley, Mississippi. Then it's released as a podcast on all the major podcast platforms. You'll hear interviews with the movers and shakers in North Mississippi who are making things happen. I'll talk to entrepreneurs, leaders of business, medicine, education, and the people behind all the amazing things happening in North Mississippi. When people ask you, how did you know about that? You'll say, I heard it on the Shark. Heard It on the Shark is brought to you by the Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area. We want you to get out and discover the historic, cultural, natural, scenic, and recreational treasures of the Mississippi Hills that are right in your backyard. And of course, we want you to take the Shark 102.3 FM along for the ride. Musical credit belongs to Hill Country Blues guitar legend Gary Burnside and the late great Buddy Grisham, playing Long Way Home from their album Acoustic Brothers, which was recorded at Sun Bear Studio in Ripley, Mississippi.
This program was recorded at Sun Bear Studio in Ripley, Mississippi.
Hey Shark fans, it's Melinda with a special episode of Heard It on the Shark. I have talked to Miss Demita Presley with the Small Business Administration about getting a disaster loan for the floods and the tornadoes and things that happened back in April 2 through April 24. And we didn't have a spare time in our regularly scheduled program, but I knew this was timely information, so I thought, well, we'll just do a podcast version of the show and not put it on the radio. So here we are doing that. Demita has called in to talk to us today, and I'm just going to let you do all the talking, Demita. Tell us exactly what you do and who should apply for these loans. And thank you for being here today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. And those are some really great questions. So the disaster loans are available to homeowners, renters, and business owners in all of the officially declared counties for physical damage. For small business and nonprofits in neighboring counties, like here in Hardin County, you are eligible for our economic injury disaster loan. A contiguous county is one that's close to or borders an area with direct physical damage. So while they didn't have the physical damage, the businesses there can still suffer economic losses. So these loans are designed to help with working capital needs when a business has been financially impacted by the disaster. So the best way, I would say, for anyone to find out their eligibility is to go to sba.gov/disaster, or they can call 1-800-659-2955, and they would be able to get someone live to talk to them.
Okay, so tell me now, I can remember back in April, the weather just being crazy. We had to go out to the tornado shelter. It felt like 5 nights in a row. And we weren't hit, but all around us, there was a lot of damage. And so I noticed you've got several counties in Tennessee. You have several counties in Mississippi and North Mississippi and Arkansas. Are there any in Alabama? I don't see any.
No, they're not in
Okay.
Alabama. I think Missouri is included also.
Oh, yeah, I see Missouri. Yep. Okay, and so if you're in one of those counties listed, like I'm going to use Mississippi as my example. So we have Alcorn, Benton, and Tippah counties that are mentioned as having direct damage during that April 2 through April 24. So you're going to go over to y'all's website and just see if you could get one of these loans. Is that correct?
Yes. You would just head on over there. Basically, the best and fastest way to get started would be for them to go to that sba.gov/disaster, and it will give you all of the counties that were included in this declaration. And then once they're there, it's a central hub for literally all of the disaster-related information. They would be able to check their eligibility, find out exactly which counties are included, and then they would actually be able to begin the application process right there.
Awesome. Okay, now, when should you apply? Because this is not a grant. This is not money handed to you that you don't have to pay back. It's a loan. But tell how it's the loan agreement is good and makes it easy for you to pay back and get back open if you had to shut down for the storms. Tell the agreement that you're going to have.
Yes, so the application, you hit on something very important there. The application filing deadlines for the economic injury loan is March 19th, 2026. However, the application deadline for physical damage was August 19th, which is today. However, there is an additional 60 days that the government is extending to be able to apply for these loans. And a very important distinction that you made, that it is a loan, not a grant. The SBA's disaster assistance is in the form of low-interest loans. So this means the funds must be repaid over time, kind of like a bank loan, but with fixed low-interest rates and long repayment terms up to 30 years. So they want to make it where rebuilding is as affordable as possible. But like you said, these are not grants. They are a tool for long-term recovery that must be paid.
Demita, without giving any names of any business in particular, can you give me a success story of how this works at its best?
Definitely. Well, the biggest success story that we have is that currently, just with this declaration alone, we've already given out $1.9 million. So definitely just goes to show the commitment that SBA has to make sure that we're taking care of our communities.
Like, okay, can you give me so a tornado maybe hit your building and you had to close down, and you had to close down for a month while you did repairs, and then you open back up. Well, you're open, but would that still count for like economic injury because you had to be shut down for that month and you lost income during that month?
Yes, absolutely. The economic injury disaster loans are specifically for working capital loans to help those small businesses, small agricultural cooperatives, churches, nonprofits, even those businesses that are engaged in aquaculture. It is designed to make sure that they have the working capital that they need to be able to keep their businesses afloat. The government has determined that there are some businesses in these counties that may have been impacted negatively economically. So, and a lot of folks might not even notice it until it's a couple months later and you notice, hey, I don't have as much, I'm not getting as much income as I typically do. And the government has determined that could be related to the storms that happened back in April. So definitely I would encourage those people to apply.
Oh, absolutely, because even in my tiny little garden that I have, we were back a month. We were put back at least a month to 6 weeks on our, little tomatoes and things like that. But if you expand that to an actual farmer, that could be devastating. So they can apply as well.
Yes, exactly. And, one of the things I was thinking about, some of the biggest reasons aside from that to apply is that these SBA disaster loans are the primary source of federal funds for long-term recovery. They're low-interest, long-term loans with fixed rates and no fees. So the goal is to make sure that we're providing an affordable and manageable way for those people to rebuild. So you don't have to accept the loan, but getting the loan approved can keep your options open. So if there is anyone that may have noticed a decline in income or profits, this loan is definitely for you.
Oh, I love that. So you go ahead and apply for the loan, get accepted, and if you can stay above water by yourself, great. If you can't, then you're already accepted and you can just pull the trigger.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I love that. Demita, I'm going to put your contact information in the footnotes, in the show notes of this show, but would you say them for us one more time?
Yes, I will go ahead and give that to you. The website is going to be www.gov/disaster. And the phone number is going to be, for anyone that actually wants to speak to someone, we do have customer service that is standing by, and that's at 1-800-659-2955.
I think you said www.sba.gov, right? /disaster. Okay.
Disaster.
Okay, great. Awesome. Demita, thank you so much. Is there anything else that I should have asked you that I didn't?
No, you've covered everything. Everything is covered. So, I think that this is going to be a great way to get people to reach out and apply if they need it.
Okay, if just one person reaches out and gets helped, we're happy that we took the time to do this. So
yes.
So thank you very much. Thanks for your time.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for your time also, Melinda.
Okay, Shark fans, this has been Demita Pasley of the Small Business Association talking about disaster relief loans that you can apply for. The information is in the show notes. You can please share this with a friend if you think that somebody might qualify for this loan. Share it with a friend. And that is it for this special edition of Heard It on the Shark. You can tune in every Tuesday at 11 a.m. to find out what's going on from local community leaders. And if you have a question, comment, or suggestion for an interview, or if you want access to this interview, you can find it at shark1023.com when you click on the podcast tab. Keep it tuned to the Shark 1023 and have a great rest of the day.
The Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area was established by the United States Congress in 2009 and represents a distinctive cultural landscape shaped by the dynamic intersection of Appalachian and Delta cultures. This intersection has produced a powerful concentration of nationally significant cultural icons, including King of Rock and Roll Elvis Presley, First Lady of Country Music Tammy Wynette, blues legend Howlin Wolf, civil rights icons Ida B. Wells-Barnett and James Meredith, America's favorite playwright Tennessee Williams, and Nobel-Laureate William Faulkner. The stories of the Mississippi Hills are many and powerful, from music and literature to Native American and African American heritage to the Civil War. The Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area supports the local institutions that preserve and share Northeast Mississippi's rich heritage. Begin your discovery of the historic, cultural, natural, scenic, and recreational treasures of our region by visiting the Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area online at MississippiHills.org.
This show is made possible by JC Media, LLC in Ripley, Mississippi. JC Media owns the Shark 102.3 Classic Rock FM radio station where the show is hosted, and Sun Bear Recording Studio where the interviews are recorded. We need your feedback and support. If you listen to the podcast on a player like iTunes, Google Podcasts, or Amazon Music, please subscribe to the show and leave us a review. We also have an email in which you can share your feedback. That email is theshark1023@gmail.com. Subscribe to our podcast on your favorite app or stream episodes online at shark1023.com/podcasts. Today's episode was produced by Melinda Marsalis. It was edited by Rick Williams and engineered by Chris Marsalis. The podcast technician is Joyce Grady.